go.
Thank you.
All right, good evening, everybody. We will call the January 15th meeting of the Board of Appeals for the City of Lewiston to order. Shelley, since you're just getting over there to sit down, since it's our first meeting of the year, would you mind doing a quick roll call, what we've got?
Okay. We'll start with you, Mr. Chair.
I am present.
Bernie McAllister.
Here.
Melanie Dorn.
Present.
David Perjansky.
Present.
William Coffin.
Present.
Paul Colasante.
Present.
And Matthew Agron.
Here.
Sounds good. If I understand it right, we currently, do we have 2 openings right now?
We do have 2 openings for vice chair and secretary.
Well, I mean, that's for the officers, but we also have 2 open positions on the board, is that correct? Because Paul and Matt are both associate members at this point?
Correct.
So, for the purposes of this evening, both of you are voting members, so that's really, clear for at least this evening, and until we figure out what's going on with that. Do we have any adjustments to the agenda at this point?
No adjustments.
Any correspondence that we need to take on?
We did get a public comment it's already in the packet, but I wanted to make a note of it. It's for the 1567 Lisbon Street project. We received an email, and that is in the packet.
The 1567 Lisbon Street one?
Yes.
Okay, yes, now I'm seeing that one right here, so. We don't know who this is from officially, it's just an email address, right?
No, it was just an email sent to our.
Thank you. Perfect.
Interesting email.
Okay, that takes us to item 4, the election of officers. At this point, we need anybody would like to make a motion for the nomination of a chairperson?
I make a motion to nominate Mr. Goslin chair.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded from Mr. McAllister. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we've got a chair. I would like to ask if there are any nominations or for a vice chair person.
I'd like to nominate Bernie McAllister.
We have a nomination, we have a motion, and do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded from Mr. Perjansky. So we have a motion to second. All in favor for Bernie?
Aye.
No opposition? There you go. We got a vice chair. Can I have a nomination for our secretary?
I'll nominate Melanie for secretary.
We have a nomination of Melanie Dorn as our secretary for 2025. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded. That would be from Matt. All in favor?
Aye.
No opposition? We have a new slate of officers for 2025. You're good to go.
Look at that.
We did receive in the package I believe, the 2025 policies and procedures. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to review.
Yes.
If no one has any questions, can I have a motion to accept the 2025 Lewiston Board of Appeals policies and procedures as presented?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a seconded from Mr. Coffin? So we have a motion and a second. All in favor of the acceptance of the Lewiston Board of Appeals? Any opposition?
We're on 5 already.
There we go. We are moving right along, everybody. There we go. That takes us to our first item of new business, which is a petition for the appeal submitted by Jessica Gastin for the conditional use permit to operate a tattoo establishment at 1567 Lisbon Street. Everybody in your package should have a memo from Craig, the land use planner. Craig, can you give us a brief update on what you're looking to do? I know the group has read it, but.
So this requires a conditional use permit, and it is not considered by our department to be an intensification, so planning board review is not required for this. So really, they'll need the conditional use permit from the board, and at that point, a change of use permit from our department. That's it. They have provided the application with the Article 10 criteria.
Okay. Thank you. Just looking for my spot here. So, does anybody, is the applicant present? Is there anything you'd like to add to the application? Not at this time. Does anybody, thank you very much. Is there anybody who would like to speak in opposition of the applicant for the conditional use permit? Seeing none, Does anybody on the board have any questions of the applicant or of city staff? All right, hearing none, is there anyone here who can make a motion pursuant to Appendix A, Article 8, Section 4G, and Article X, or Article 10 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Lewiston, that a conditional use permit be granted for the change of use for the existing commercial space to a tattoo establishment at 1567 Lisbon Street, Suite 10, be granted?
So moved.
We have a motion that it be granted. Do I have a second? Seconded from Mr. Coffin. Any other comments from the board? Is there anyone, I guess I'll go with all in favor? I'm actually gonna recuse myself from this vote, so you've got a vote of 6, 0, and 1 for a recusal from myself. Okay? All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. You're very welcome. Good luck. We have item, let's see, I think it's item 6B, which is a petition for appeal submitted by Tidewater Cultivation LLC for a conditional use permit to reestablish a non-conforming use at that has been presumed abandoned at 1675 Lisbon Street in Lewiston. And Craig, if you don't mind, giving us the same, another brief summary of where we're at.
So this one's a little tougher to summarize, but I'll do my best. The property at 1675 Lisbon Street, they received approval through development review, through the through the staff review committee for the establishment of a cannabis or marijuana cultivation. That was on the timeline in the memo. That was on August 19, 2021. At that point, the applicant then took steps to bring the project, to bring the establishment into operation through the application of a business license, through different various building permit applications, through, or for reasons that I'll let the applicant explain, they did not, at some point they ceased to move forward with that. And again, looking at the timeline that we provided, it was judged by staff that the establishment had become abandoned, and due to the fact that a change in our ordinance after the approval of the project, a change in our ordinance created a non-conformance with the existing.
Can you say what that change was?
Yeah, so our marijuana ordinance was changed in March of 2022. And that created new requirements, separation requirements from certain protected uses, buffers from daycares, from schools, and from other locations. And that is what this property is now in non-conformance with.
Can you speak to it? Because I didn't find exactly what is the missing. Is it distance from?
The distance from the daycare.
Daycare on the, okay.
That is essentially their neighbor.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Greg?
No, it is our view that the property was discontinued in March of 2023, abandoned in March of 2024, and that started a 12-month window in which they could reestablish that abandoned non-conforming use, provided they meet the conditional use criteria and the criteria of Article 6, Section 4C, I believe.
So in reading this, it doesn't sound like the city has any major obligation, any opposition to this conditional use, with assuming the findings are in line with what we proposed.
That's correct.
Thank you. Is the applicant present? Please do.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
for those that don't know, the dais received all new microphones. I know they're very long, but they're not as powerful right now. So if you could just make sure, so that we can go back and watch the recording after, if you guys could all just make sure that the microphone is close enough while you speak. Thank you very much.
Hopefully it's working all right for so far anyway, So if you could just introduce yourselves.
My name is Zach Brandwine. I'm counsel for the applicant, Tidewater Cultivation.
James Duhamel. I'm one of the managing members of Tidewater.
Thank you.
Happy to answer any questions the board has. I would just say that I fully agree with what Mr. Thibodeau has briefed you on. The change in your ordinances, which at the time Tidewater was compliant with when it started this project, which is a 1,000-foot setback, from certain sensitive uses. The project was ongoing, agree with everything in the timeline laid out in the planner's memo. The change of ordinances happened, the 1,000-foot setback went to, or separation went to 500 feet. And so that made, after the use was abandoned, that made the use sort of non-conforming. But as you'll see in the very last sort of portion of the application, we actually have an agreement, Tidewater has an agreement with the daycare, whereby the daycare has agreed not to sort of object to any cannabis uses at the property. The use was abandoned because we've gotten, these cultivation facilities cost a lot of money to build out. We have contractors, got in dispute with the contractors. In order to bring the property back to cultivation cannabis use and to sort of make all the work that went into it viable, we're seeking this resumption. I'm happy to answer any of the board's questions.
Perfect, thank you. You've answered my questions, which were the reasons why we got to that situation in the first place. Is there any challenge for you to continue, you know, if there was this to be approved for a conditional use, to meet the timeline, to get this in operation, to get the permit, et cetera? And
No, I don't think so. And I also just want to add, fully agree with the conditions of approval laid out in the planner's memo too.
does anyone on the board have any questions for the applicant or its representative? John?
Just a question is regarding the agreement that was in place originally with the daycare. Is that still your interpretation that that's existing today?
Yes, yes.
Any other questions of the applicant? I don't think we have any other questions. Is there anyone else here in opposition to the applicant or the motion? Not seeing anyone there, so it is up to us at this point. So I'll be looking for a motion for a determination that the application is complete. Can I have a motion that the application is complete? Move that the application is complete. Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded from Bernie. Anyone, all in favor? Application is complete. I will need a motion that a determination of that the date that this was presumed abandoned pursuant to, will be in the form of the motion pursuant to Appendix A, Article 6, Section 4C, that the 12-month period in which to resume the presumed to be abandoned has not yet expired and the application can move forward. Can I have that motion?
So moved.
Moved by David.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Coffin. All in favor that the application and determination that the date of presumed abandonment has not passed and it can move forward? All in favor? Unanimous. I am now looking for a motion pursuant to Appendix A, Article 6, Section 4C, Article 8, Section 4G, and Article 10 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Lewiston that a conditional use permit to reestablish the conforming marijuana cultivation use at 1675 Lisbon Street be granted to Tidewater Cultivations with the following conditions: that August 19th, 2021, development review conditions of approval all be completed, and that the applicant provide an updated site plan to be signed by the Director of the Department of Planning and Code Enforcement or their designee, and that the applicant shall apply for a new marijuana cultivation license with the clerk's office, the prior one having been expired. So, with those conditions, I'm looking for a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Calasante. Can I have a second? Seconded by Mr. Agrin. All in favor? Any opposition? Hearing none. You've got your vote. Best of luck with your operation out on Lisbon Street. Be good
Thank
to
you
see
very
that
much.
building be occupied.
Yep.
Appreciate the board's time tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, that takes us to, through our two pieces of new business. Shelley has provided us with the minutes that most of us were at for the meeting of April 29th and the meeting of May 22nd. I know these were circulated earlier today. Our bulldog that reviews these is not here to review them, and to give us any additional comments. It's my understanding that Attorney Carey reviewed these minutes very thoroughly. Is there anyone who feels good about making the motion to accept the minutes for April 29th and May 22nd?
I'll make a motion to accept those minutes.
We have a
and
motion
please
from
get that
Mr.
thing ever
Avery.
away from me.
We have a motion from Mr. Agrin. Can I have a second?
Second.
Seconded from Mr. Calasante. All in favor of accepting the minutes as presented? Anyone in opposition? Hearing none. So, Is there any additional business that we need to discuss this evening?
No, sir?
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. And a second, Mr. Calasante. We are done. Good night, everybody.
In and out.
See, this is why we keep you as our president.
Yeah, there we go.
It's, as long as the items are,
Most
it's
are.
not like we had last time.
As long, and with him running them, yes.
I'll wait to say before I make any additional comments while we're on camera, but.
But yeah. While he's been our president, yes, he moves them right along.
All right, John? See you guys again. Yep.
Hi.